Welcome back to the third portion of this lesson. Earlier, we were introduced to the question, why learn? Then we moved on to a deeper analysis of how learning changes our lives and our communities. We specifically investigated learning in relationship to the idea of emancipation, the action of self-emancipation through education, understanding, and knowledge. And now we are going to make a distinction between the kind of learning that humans engage in and the kind of learning that other animals participate in our world. I think this will be beneficial for our discussion that emerges when we are completing our exit ticket. What we will be looking at in part 3 is the human condition versus the turtle experience. We will be analyzing human learning alongside instinct and making the claim that for humans, learning is more important than instinct. Jean-Jacques Rousseau will give us a quote that we will analyze in further depth. And lastly, we will complete a Google Forms survey titled, We Learn Best When. This is a series of questions on a linear grid with statements that you will say whether you agree with that statement or whether you disagree with it, all related to learning. We will also move on to part 4, where we will analyze the collective and the individual. We will have 2 short answers and an exit ticket. Let us go to the turtle experience.
Once a female lays her eggs, she returns to the sea, leaving her hatchlings to fend for themselves. Fewer than 0.1% of hatchlings survive to adulthood, in part due to numerous predators on the beach. Emerging in large numbers increases the chance that some will survive. Sea turtles use Earth's magnetic fields to navigate. Sea turtles have geomagnetic abilities, which serve as an internal GPS. The turtles have particles of magnetite, a magnetic mineral, in their brains. The magnetite likely plays a role in orienting sea turtles to Earth's magnetic poles, similar to a compass. Baby sea turtles imprint on the unique magnetic signature of the beaches where they hatch. This magnetic map can guide them back to the same beaches several years later to lay their own eggs.
That is truly spectacular. Reminds us of the beauty of our oceans, of our world, of our universe. We humans learn because we are unfinished beings. Therefore, we must learn in order to become. But that is not true in the case of the turtle. They are born knowing what they need in order to survive. They're born on the beach without their mother. Even so, they know by instinct that they should head towards the sea. And a lot of danger lies ahead. In this sense, we humans are very different from the turtle, because we must rely more on learning and less on instinct. We cannot survive alone. We do not have magnetite in our brain, giving us a magnetic map guiding the way. How about we turn to philosopher Jean-Jacques Rousseau as we try to further understand the difference between human learning and animal instinct.
If we consider him human, in a word, just as he must have come from the hands of nature, we behold in him an animal weaker than some, and less agile than others, but, taking him all around, the most advantageously organized of any.
In my interpretation, one way to look at what Rousseau is saying is that human beings are among the most fragile creatures on the planet, but we are also the most organized of them all. We pass information on to following generations. We can learn our history by reading first-hand accounts of events as they occurred. Even though we are not the fastest, nor are we the strongest, we are dominant because we are organized. I am interested in seeing what your interpretation of Rousseau's quote is as an option for your exit ticket. Now, before we get into any other philosophical debates, I think it's a good idea to revisit our lesson objective so that we can begin formulating a response to how we feel in relationship to this. Students will be able to determine. To determine is to take a stand, to be sure about something, and explain how learning and understanding are essential elements of autonomy and freedom. In other words, you will explain how learning and understanding are foundational for us to be able to self-govern and for us to be truly free. What I would like for you to do now is, as this video ends, step back into Google Classroom and complete the "How do we humans learn most effectively" Google Forms survey. There are a series of questions, I believe 10, and what I would like for you to do is to place yourself in agreement or disagreement with the statement that is being made. If you select 1, you completely disagree with the statement, and if you select 5, you completely agree with the statement. As we see here, question number 1 for the survey is, we learn best when we are excited to learn the subject or topic. So you will choose from 1 to 5 how much you agree with that statement, and you will move on to the next until you are completed. Then you will submit the survey and begin the last and final section of our Why Learn lesson. Thank you.